Well, good morning, St. Mary's family and friends, and happy Easter! Happy Easter! So lovely to celebrate with you this morning. Just briefly before our invitation to join the fullness of our church, either at Grace Cathedral live after this small greeting, or watch the recording of the National Cathedral's service this morning that was earlier today. We do hope you will continue to worship after this brief message. I want to say thank you for being on this journey of faith with me, for continuing to practice and live into what it means to be followers of Christ on the journey of love and grace, and especially on this day where Christ breaks forth from the bounds of death and shows us that death is not the end, but love. You know, so I've got a metaphor here today that I think is fitting given our current time and space. Over my shoulder, you will see some flowers that Natalie Hala brought to me yesterday that are lilies in full bloom, a joyous and wonderful celebration of Christ bursting forth from the grave and showing us that death has been overcome. However, I also have this lovely plant that my parents sent me this week. And these are lilies as well. And I got to tell you, I got these in a box about 6 or 7 days ago. And when I opened the box, there was nothing green on top except this sort of, it's almost like real Easter bunny fuzz. And maybe one or two little peeps pushing through. And the instructions were to soak it in water for 30 minutes and then just leave it be. And lo and behold, that's what I've done. And so for the last 7 days, I've watched as these have burst forth from the ground, sprung up, and many more than I could have possibly imagined. And yet, as you can see, they've not fully come to bloom. And what I'm realizing is that oftentimes, while there have been opportunities where I've experienced the love, the grace, the resurrection of Jesus Christ immediately in my life, more often than not, I experience and manifest that resurrection, that life, that love that knows no bounds as an ongoing process, like these flowers that grow and that eventually will bloom to reveal and show us their true joy and beauty. It's not that the resurrection isn't already in them, it's that the fullness of it is yet to come. And in this day where we celebrate virtually, together, yet apart, fully embraced and basking in Christ's resurrection, we know that the fullness is yet to come. And so we are invited, encouraged even, to participate in that fullness, knowing we are not fully there. So I'll keep these on my table in the weeks to come. We'll watch them bloom and unfold as witnesses to Christ's resurrection in our lives, and our lives, the resurrection into the world. I thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful faith community, for receiving Christ's grace and bearing it into the world. Again, we invite you to move on from this worship and either join Grace Cathedral's celebration or watch a recording of the National Cathedral celebration. Grace Cathedral will go live at 11 a.m. And before you do that, if you'd like to hear that lovely hymn that we opened up to this morning, that is our St. Mary's virtual choir. And that recording will be found on our website. It is a wonderful experience of what is possible, even though we cannot be together physically. We are together in worship and celebration and song. So again, happy Easter. Thank you for following the way of life and love as known in the life, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ.